The EP is called The Real Everyday Life in New Jersey. I titled it that way to, I don't know, kind of just reflect a normal person like me growing up in New Jersey and the kind of things that you go through. I wrote the songs in kind of the sequence as I was experiencing events. So pretty much from spring 2009 to spring 2010. So these events consumed pretty much a whole year of my life where I was feeling them and focusing on them. The reason why I chose those old songs now to make lyric videos and make a project out of them was, first of all, to maybe process a little bit of some things I didn't process. I wanted to show how you can turn these raw, authentic times in your life, no matter how they felt, you can take them and make them into something beautiful, into art, into videos, into music, and that's always something positive. And for me, that was very empowering when I realized that I could do that. And our stories and the stuff that we went through, we often don't share with people, but those are actually the most invaluable, helpful, supportive things when you can share this with somebody, because we all go through similar things, and then I think there's a sense of comfort in that. When you watch these videos, it's important to watch in order. It's a story, and you'll notice that I put in pictures from those times in my life to share, that's who Adam was, that was his expression, this is how he appears, and this is what he went through. And maybe you can relate to him, maybe not. I do. I was though. When I was in college, I was pretty much depressed most of the time, and towards my senior year, or in my senior year, I ended up falling in love with my friend. We were friends for about 3 years, and then we just ended up got in the same classes, spent a lot of time together, and for the first time I felt my heart opening up to someone. And I started to notice, as I would leave her place, that I would feel lighter, as if I was floating home. This was a totally new experience for me. And she said some things to me along the same line that she felt the same way. The thing was, she had a boyfriend that she was with for 3 years, so I was a bit confused, what's kind of going on. And as I was feeling these new feelings that I hadn't felt before, I just kind of went with it. And so I wrote My Northern Light to basically tell her how sincerely I felt about her. So it was kind of my first real sincere song, first sincere love song, where I wasn't just trying to make something that sounded good. It came from my heart, and that's why I think it turned out the way it did. And it was called My Northern Light because she was from Sweden. And so there was a bit of hesitation and confusion about the way we were feeling in her relationship. I didn't really want to break up a relationship per se, so I just said, let's take the summer, and at the end of the summer, after our trips, just let me know what you want to do. And I was just really hoping that she would choose to be with me at the end of the summer. So she went to Sweden, and I did a program in Moscow studying Russian. That's why I have the line in My Northern Light, from Moscow to here, and reference to Stockholm. When summer was over and she came back, she still hadn't made a decision, and part of me started to panic inside. So I went for a walk, and I found this little tiny kitten. It's so small I could fit in the palm of my hand. And I quickly called her and I said, what should I do? And she said, take him home, and I'll come meet you there. And that's, now my cat Gizmo, who's, still my buddy 15 years later. And so she helped me take care of the cat, and we're actually bonding, and you know, all the feelings were coming back all over again, but I still wasn't getting a decision. You know, a few weeks later, suddenly she stopped talking to me. I didn't hear anything, and my heart just felt like it was breaking inside. You know, like I couldn't breathe, like I couldn't air. After having my heart open, you know, and being myself and feeling those feelings I didn't understand for the first time, to have that kind of like stop was very painful and suffocating. I wrote the song in her brain because I was just so confused about what's going on in there. There was like no communication, and I was just kind of sitting there by myself pulling oracle cards, kind of hoping that something's gonna come up, and I'm just thinking, you know, what do I trust? Do I trust this feeling inside me? Do I trust the universe? Is this gonna happen for me? I felt very confused and lost. The only thing that kept me going was Gizmo. Was seeing his little kitten face, you know, every day when I got home. You're probably wondering about the picture of the second video. That is not the person who I'm talking about. That's my friend Brittany. So she was very supportive during that time, being my friend, hanging out and helping me take care of Gizmo, which I'm grateful for. And then through the grapevine, I heard that she broke up with this person. And I thought, oh great, I'm gonna hear from her now. But I didn't. And what I did was I wrote the song, The Weather. The Weather, it was meant to comfort her and letting her know that I'm here. When I sent the recording of The Weather to her, there was no response. And part of me was feeling like, oh, I blew it. And yeah, then I was just, you know, even more sad. It's not the same reaction I got as when I first played, you know, My Northern Light. As you can see from the third video, that as the picture comes to life and you see an old video of me playing, that was the actual recording that I made and sent to her. And as I look back on it today, The Weather was actually more for me than for her. It was like me comforting myself during this lost and dark time. Then the new year came, and I was just thinking, what do I do? What do I do? And I, you know, kept asking people or looking inside. She still wasn't really talking to me. And it's just like, do I let go of this? It's so hard to let go, but it's also extremely hard to hang on. So I wrote the song My Compass, kind of like thinking, you know, some days it felt like this. You know, I said happy birthday, and she said like, thank you. It's like, wow, she's talking to me again. And then another day, okay, nothing. It was terribly confusing. So, you know, I kept looking inside and then like talking to the universe, what am I supposed to do here? And in the end, I chose myself. And I thought, you know, I really deserve better than this. This isn't what I want after all. So after I had made that decision for myself, I started to get hopeful again, and I wrote the song A New Hope. So I wrote this song and tried to get into that feeling that I had before. Because I thought if I can make that feeling again, maybe it'll happen again. So after I wrote A New Hope, stuff started happening, you know, and I was feeling like myself again. And through some incredible synchronicity, I found someone that I could share that feeling with, and we had an awesome summer together. And you'll see the photos from the lyric video or from that trip, and everything that I wrote about in that song ended up coming true. And that was the power I was discovering back then, but you know, I thought that was pretty amazing. Something I want everyone to know is this is a piece of my life, and you know, it doesn't end with A New Hope. You know, within this project, yeah, it sounds like it's a happy ending, but more stuff happened after that. So I think it's important to know that there's no such thing as a happy ending because there is no ending. So I believe the best, thing to do is to be open and to be as happy as much as you can and be authentic with yourself and people. Because there is no happy ending, and that's what I was hoping for this whole time, and that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. Well, in writing the songs, I was acknowledging what I was feeling, and which wasn't good. So it wasn't feeling good. So it was just a way in the moment to journal what I was feeling, to get my thoughts out, and to go through that process of making something positive out of them bit by bit. And it's what helped me through the situation, not just Gizmo, but that process helped me through the situation, which was, at the time the most challenging in my life. Back then, it wasn't really anyone to turn to when you're feeling intense feelings inside, or you feel like your chest is heavy, you're suffocating, you don't know what to do, and you can feel very alone. So it was just kind of a way to put it out there to the universe, even if I kept it private at first, and it helped me deal. And songwriting still helps me deal. When I published all the songs, I think she kind of went through them, and this is after I wrote all of them. And then she wrote me and said, I'm not really, I think we should just be friends, I'm not really interested. But by that point I already made my choice. It was sad for me back then not to have any communication, not to know what's going on, just to be left hanging. That's what was so torturous about it for me, and then just being with those feelings by myself. We're still in touch. A couple of years later, she ended up, apologizing, and I accepted it, and yeah, we stayed in touch, and I've seen her since. The message would be to stay true to yourself, honor your feelings, no matter how they are. Know that you have the power to make them into something beautiful, and whatever you're feeling, someone else is feeling, and it can be helpful. Those things are valuable to other people, and I think that's the greatest way we can serve each other, is by sharing our stories. And if we can do that in a passionate, authentic, beautiful way, it's just it's really nice. I hope you guys enjoy the videos. I hope everyone enjoys them as much as I enjoyed making them. And yeah, we'll see what comes next.